Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Am I
afternoon, sir.
audible? Good
Yes, sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, all.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So I'll start my session with the written communication skills. Today's session, we are going to majorly focus on what is written communication. And towards the end of the day, I'm going to give you certain tips regarding the written communication skills. So as you can see the PowerPoint screen in front of you, let me take this opportunity to start the session. I welcome everybody on the board who has joined this particular session today for attending the value added course on soft skills and communication skills. See, there must be a change in your particular entire communication level, the understanding about the soft skills, as and when you advance in this particular course. The contents have been designed in such a way that it would give you the best fit of your personality for the corporate world. It will help you to understand what are the gaps which you can fill in your communication and soft skills, which will make you a successful manager and a leader for tomorrow. Now, when we talk about written communication skills, first of all, it is very important that put it before them briefly so they will read it clearly so they will appreciate it, and picturesquely so they will remember it, and above all accurately so they will be guided by its light. I would like to start my session with the very famous quote of Joseph Pulsier. There are a lot of people those who follow Joseph Pulsier because of his contribution. He just clearly mentioned that in case of written communication, you have to just put it briefly before them so they can read and understand. You cannot write in essays today. We are living in the digital world. People are very much open, they are very much connected, and they are doing a lot of networking. So they don't have much of the time to read your entire message, as you can see in case of WhatsApp. Sometimes it has been bugged with the loads of text, or the textual information is provided in many running paragraphs. There are hardly very few readers who are going to read the entire paragraphs. So you need to develop your written communication skills in such a way that it should be concise, it should be brief, it should be precise, it should be clear so that the people will appreciate and they will get that particular feedback from you. And then you have to keep it picturesquely in such a way that the people will remember what you have written. Picturesquely means something which you can use in the form of your imagination and creativity, which will probably help you to create some better image in the mind of your particular customers, in the mind of your particular target audience. That is very important. So you have to write in an attractive way, especially when it is old fashioned, it is delightful. So picturesquely is very important. You need to develop that particular approach as to how to write attractive, how to add the beautiful, the charming words, the delightful words, the elegant words, the exquisite words, the fair words, the graceful words, all those lovely and pretty words you need to use while you are describing something. For example, as you can see in case of a poet or in case of an author, they describe some certain things in that manner that you start doing imagination. So that is what the importance of written communication skill is. Above all, you need to be accurate also while you are describing anything. In case of written communication skills, it is really very important for you as a person to first of all understand the context, second use appropriate message, and then be accurate so they will be guided by its light. People will understand what the particular message is intended for. Now talking about writing skills, why you should develop writing skills? First and the foremost important point is as a career requirement. Everyone is facing some particular challenge in the career, by way of communication skills. So you need to constantly upgrade yourself. Like we are upgrading our cell phones, we are upgrading our Bluetooth devices, we are upgrading our desktop, laptops, tablets, we are upgrading our surroundings, we are also upgrading our place of residence. Similarly, you need to also upgrade your writing skills. Over a period of time, it has been seen that people, those who are good and proficient in written communication and in verbal communications, oral communication skills, they are the ones who are being paid almost 35% higher in the corporate world. Now, talking about written communication, as you know that it is a kind of one-way communication skill. Here, you won't be getting an opportunity to directly see the response or the expression of the person whom you are writing a message. So, written communication skills are really very important. You need to just put those words that will lead to action. The action in any particular form, whatever you are expecting, that words are required to be there in the written skills. Now, as we know that it is a kind of our career requirement, we need to develop our writing skills, because otherwise there is no way wherein we would be able to put our administrative work into practice. The second is more than a nice thing to have, a necessity. Today, it is said that written communication skills are not just a matter of past, wherein people say that okay, you know, writing skills, okay, it's very nice that you know the writing skills, you have very good written communication skills, but today it is a necessity. In your day-to-day living, you will realize, as a student, as a corporate professional, as a businessman, as a government agency, as a labor union, as any third party, as a supplier, as a customer, everywhere you would be involved in such kind of communication on day basis. So the communications will differ. Some of the communications will be very formal, some of the communications will be informal. There will be a mix of type of communication, and then you have to become pro into that. You may be very good in your vernacular language, but you may be very good into communicating in your vernacular medium, but then you need to understand that the other person may not be so good in vernacular medium. The message you are going to convey to the person should be easily understood, and for that purpose you need to develop it. It should be considered as a necessity. Your writing is your personality. It is very obvious. People are now judged on the basis of what they have written. There are a lot of people, those who are coming up with their autobiographies, including them are the celebrities, then some particular political leaders, the business leaders. These are the people, those who have actually given the world a particular thing called as uh, the way the audience or the public can actually look at themselves, and that is how we can say that writing develops the personality, without which you cannot create any rapport in the market today. So you need to write in such a way that it makes a personality. For example, J.K. Rowling, she writes in a way that people accept it, people appreciate it, people are dying for her next particular series. Then there are other writers also, very good writers from India. We have Chetan Bhagat from India, Khushwant Singh, he passed away. Lot of writers, those who have made a particular personality. Then there are some writers who write some particular novels, the suspense thriller novel. There are some particular writers who write something which is related to the science, technology, and other things. So all these things are very important. You need to understand that if you won't write well, it won't create your good impression, and then it will get a wrong personality of yours. Next is, as a professional, it is crucial to write well. Yes, you should know how to write an email, you should know how to write a letter, you should not use any such words which are offensive, you should not use any such words which are racial or which are indicating against any particular person, his designation, his integrity, or anything. So writing is a skill. It is both an art as well as a science. You need to know that how to write the messages. Do not write the slangs. If you write slangs, If you write the things in idioms, the other person may not be so intelligent as you are. Then there is a possibility that the message would be misinterpreted. So writing skills makes a very positive impression. It can create your personality, and then people will get to know you more and more through what you write. There are some writers who are being always criticized because they are not writing something which the government always wants. These include some of the journalists, some of the news reporters, but then you need to understand that all these things are their part of their profession. As you are going to become a management professional, you need to understand what type of writing you would be encountering in the future. That could be related to the memos, the circulars, the referendums, the MOUs, the agreements, the applications. All these kind of things will revolve around you once you start doing a job in the corporate world. So you need to be acquainted with all these kind of things, and then you need to be acquainted with the structure part. Suppose if you're going to apply for the job, what should be the particular approach, how you should write. Suppose if you're going to write a cover letter for yourself for applying for a job, what should be the content in it. All these things are very important for you, and that is why this session, today's session, is going to be very interesting. The next is the ability to write does not require a unique talent or an outstanding mental ability. Let me tell you frankly that all those who are writing may not be very technically or sound, or may not be very intelligent people, but they could be just a very common public like all of us, but they have that habit and interest of writing certain things. Sometimes they are giving the reviews. For example, there are a lot of blogs wherein people talk about the destinations. There are blogs which are wherein the people talk about the technology. There are some blogs which are talking about different subject areas divided into various categorical information. So you need to understand that all those who are writing blogs, articles, research papers, publishing books, giving their editorials. For example, Miss Funny Bones, she is known by this name in the editorial. But if you know the actual name of the Miss Funny Bones, I would really appreciate that. Who is Miss Funny Bones who write editorials in the particular columns? Can anyone tell me? Who is Miss Funny Bone? It's Twinkle Khanna. And as you know, Twinkle Khanna, she writes editorial for Times of India. She has her own name for this particular identification. She is not so intelligent, but her blogs or her editorials are being appreciated even by the critics. So you need to see to it that the ability to write does not require a unique talent to start with or an outstanding mental ability. Everyone has the basic skills necessary to write well. You also know the same things, you also have the same skills like how to write, what to write. Only thing is you are not aware about the words, the vocabulary, you are not aware about the structure that you need to practice. The basic understanding of writing and a commitment to writing well in all situations is needed as a professional. For professional growth, it is very important for you that you keep the writing skills on your priority. Learn how to write well, learn new words, develop your vocabulary, read the English papers, watch English news, and then try to develop your skills in this particular direction. If you're not working in English in your business, the day-to-day working, then probably tomorrow there may be a requirement. So you should not prepare yourself only for today, but you should prepare yourself for future as well. Using written communication skills, you can create a persona. It will build your rapport. Then people will start preferring you. They will come to you for getting any help, and then obviously they will try to get that particular corrections from you because they know that you are the right person who knows the things better, who knows how to fit the things in the particular bracket, how to make the things looking very better and looking beautiful, elegant, exquisite, etc. Now, types of written communication. When we talk about written communication, remember that it's not a kind of hypocrisy. Written communication is done for a purpose. Some people say that written communication is a hypocrisy because whatever you can communicate orally, it has got more impact. I would say that written communication aims for keeping the record. If you don't have the record of your financial statements, what will happen? The investors will not be able to invest. The government will not be able to identify the trajectory, whether it is approaching towards the growth or whether it is going down. What is the magnitude? All such kind of things are very important. Written communications is very important for management because they can refer to the past records and then they can take the decisions. That is what very important in the corporate interface. Now we have time series analysis, we have Delphi method for demand forecasting, we have many other statistical methods. Now all these methods requires writing. Writing a report which should be understandable to the management will help the management to formulate the strategies. Now let's talk about the type of written communication. Here we have letters, memos, emails, notice, circulars, and the reports. I am sure that by your 12th standard, every one of you have gone through at least the format of all these things, because these are the things which are now discussed until 12th standard. But still, it takes us a lot of time to just know what to write. It is said that बोलना कैसे है, how to speak, it takes less than 1.5 years for a child to start speaking. But then क्या बोलना है, what to speak and what to write, क्या लिखना है, it takes entire life to learn that. So my point is, if we get a command over all these things, probably there would be no one in our area who can challenge us. You can write a letter, you can write a PIL, you can write for yourself, you can help the organization to create documents, to create the records. So all these are the examples of the written communication. Without this written communication, it won't be possible for you to make an impression. Okay. Now, talking about the business documents. What is business document? Business document is basically a document which is especially used for the communication purpose in the business organizations. That's it. So a good business document should always answer the following questions. When you start writing the business documents, the following things you might deal with. The first is, what is this document all about? You need to first of all understand whether it is a warning letter, whether it is an application letter, whether it is an agreement, or what sort of document it is. Understanding the nature will help you to choose the words appropriately. For example, if you are going to give a warning to someone, at that time the language which you are going to use will be slightly stern language, a strong language, without using any kind of foul language. But at the time when you are going to go for an agreement, for example, between two companies, if it is a merger or acquisition, at that time when you are making a policy document, then the things should be different. If you are going to write an SOP, that is called as a standard operating procedure for any organization, that SOP contains all the details about what is to be done, how it is to be done, what should be the job role, what are the KPIs and the KRAs, all such kind of things are being mentioned in it. Accordingly, your selection of words has to be appropriately defined. So next is, why has it come to me? Yes, it is very important. When you are talking about business document, you need to understand what is your authority and what is your level in the organization. Are you making the document for someone else on behalf of someone, or it is you who is going to be the signing authority? Based on that, you need to just change the particular wordings or probably sometimes the structure. Who wrote it? किसने लिखा है? How it is organized? What is the organization? First paragraph में क्या होना चाहिए? जैसे for example, when you are applying for leave, just for an example, very simple application which we have started writing right from the time when we have entered into schools. Now, application of leave will have first of all address to the director or to the principal on the top. There would be date on the top on the right hand side, followed by that you will write subject, application for leave for the particular period, stating the particular reason in just 2 or 3 words: due to fever, due to sickness, due to attending sports, due to getting injured, due to attending some personal work, or due to XYZ reason. Now, then you will write, respected sir, respected madam, with due respect, I would like to inform, or I am just not in a position to come to the school today. Kindly accept my leave for today. Thanking you in anticipation, or requesting you to kindly do the needful. All such kind of things you will highlight over there, and then you at the end you will write yours sincerely or yours truly, then your name and then your class and then your signature. That's it. So यहाँ पर ये organization है. Organization मतलब structure. आपको याद रखना है business document always have a proper structure. You have to always emphasize on the structure because structure is very important. If you miss the things on structure part, then there is no excuse. Then what is it trying to accomplish? What is it trying to accomplish means what is the purpose of the document? Is it for the purpose of application? Is it for the purpose of agreement? Is it for the purpose of convincing someone? Is it for the purpose of getting some particular action done? All these things are very important. So just a moment please. Okay. So are you getting my point? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So business document में ये letter क्या है, इसका structure क्या है? It is very important. How it is important because you need to understand what you want to do or what is supposed to be done. What is the action the letter is expecting from you or the document is expecting from you? In other words, what that letter is trying to accomplish and what supports the conclusion. What problem or the opportunity does it address? For example, the customer complaint. When the customer is raising a complaint towards the customer care executive or towards the customer care department, that goes to the particular manager, the relationship manager looks at it, then the relationship manager will write a letter seeking the clarification from the concerned customer care department as to why the problem has not been resolved. In that case, the customer care department will be answerable to the relationship manager because they are reporting to the relationship manager. So ultimately you need to keep the records. Ultimately you have to maintain the business documents because you need to address the problems or you need to address the opportunities that is lying hidden in the particular words which are being written in the document. Now moving ahead, see, when we talk about the business letters are always structured, whereas any particular personal letter that does not follow the structure. For example, if you are writing a letter to your friend, to Miss So and So, subject, kindly meet me in the kitchen or kindly meet me in the cafeteria, kindly meet me in the hostel. You don't write in that way. If it is there, that might be for the purpose of fun. Business letter always have a formal structure, whereas all other letters have the informal structure wherein you are not following the salutation, you are not ending it with the proper gratitude, and then you don't write yours sincerely or thanking you or whatever it is. So that is why we need to learn about it because most of the time our dealing is going to be with the people around us whom with are associated formally in a very formalized structure. Like for example, you are associated with us through a formal relationship of a student. You are the student of this institution. As a student, sometimes you need to report, sometimes you need to fulfill the responsibilities, sometimes you need to fulfill the compliances. There your knowledge will come, there your skills will come into practice. So letters and memos क्या होते हैं? The first is the letters and memos not more than 2 pages. Letters are for external communication and memos are for internal communication. Memos are being given to the internal department people in order to seek the clarification or particular uh, any particular action from it. For example, the senior manager will give the memo to the subordinates to get something done on an urgent basis or on a priority basis. So when we talk about memos, that are basically meant for the internal communication, and letters are always meant for the external communication most of the times. But there are certain letters which are meant for internal communication. As I said, application for leave, then that is going to be a kind of internal communication. Here we are not communicating about our leave to the third party. We are just trying to communicate and get it sanctioned from the immediately reporting superior. Now talking about the letters and memos, all business letters should include the following things, which is very important. Heading or the particular letterhead. You cannot print out a document, you cannot print out a memo or any particular letter without using a letterhead, because the organizations are very strict on that. They want that everything whichever is official should be printed on the letterhead. For example, if anyone is been relieved from the duties, that time you are giving the relieving letter and experience certificate. That relieving letter and experience certificate will be given only on the letterhead. It will not be
you